In this video, we're going to talk about an important concept called percentage more or less. This is a very standard statement that you see in most of the percentage questions. I see students getting confused sometimes, so that's why we are focusing on this in this video. So let's say there's a statement like this: A scored 30% more than B. Let's say this is a statement that I'm seeing. See, I could have, let's imagine a thing like this, that let's say actually A scored 50 in the exam and B scored 65. Okay, so that will be 30%. Don't worry about that for now. I could have said the same thing, like A scored, sorry, that's a mistake, right? It should be 65 here and 50, my bad. Right, so A scored 30% more than B. So B scored 50, A scored more than that, 65. I could have said the same thing, A scored 15 marks more than B, right? So if I know B scored 50, I could have understood that okay, A must have scored 50 plus 15, that is 65. This is giving you a direct clue, or rather, an absolute value as a reference. Sometimes I could give you the same thing in percentage also, right? I am saying A scored 30% more than B. What does that mean? A scored whatever B scored, right, plus 30% of B. So I cannot add 30 to B, right? Understand that if B scored, let's say 50, this is also something that I know. What is the score of A? Sometimes I see students doing this. They do 50 plus 30 because 30%, so they do 50 plus 30, 80. This is wrong. You cannot add an absolute value with a percentage. Sometimes I see students doing this, 50 plus 30%, and then they'll do 30% as 30 by 100, that's 0.3, then they get something like 50.3. This is also wrong, right? So this is saying A scored whatever B scored more than, that's why I'm doing plus 30%. So whenever you see a percentage, the immediate question that you have is, this percentage is of what? Of what value, to understand the actual value. So 30% of B, right? So B is 50, let's say 30% of 50. So this is as simple as it, like 30 by 100 into 50, right? So that is give me 3 5s are 15. So that means A scored whatever B scored plus 30% of B is 15. So that's basically making him get 65 marks. Right? This is basically the meaning for this percentage more. So I could also say A scored 20% less than B. Let's say this is another clue, and let's take again that B scored 40, okay, for this example. What should I do? Just try it once. Hope you've given a shot. So A is equals to whatever B scored minus 20% of B, right? So it says A scored 20% less than B. So B is my reference point. So B minus 20% of B. So that is basically 40 minus 20% of 40. Right, 20% of 40, if I do, I'll get 8, right? Same 20 by 100 into 40, 40 minus 8 will be 32, right? So this is a very basic thing that you should understand, right? A scored something more than B, A scored less than B, something is more, something is less. I can give absolute value, sometimes they're also given percentage, right? That's important to understand. Let's solve some questions to just understand this better. So A weighs 30% more than B. Right, so basically it means A weighs 30% more than B, okay. B weighs 20% less than C. So B basically weighs 20% less than C. Okay, this is done. If B weighs 50 kgs, find the weights of A and C. So they have given us B. Right, so let's come to this point first. So A is basically 50 plus, okay, I've taken the same numbers. 30% of 50, that will be like 50 plus 30 by 100 into 50, right? That will give me 65. This is already done actually in another example. Randomly it turned out to be same. This one, B is equals to C minus 20% of C. Now the challenge is this. So I know B is 50, C minus 20% of C. I still don't know C, right? How would I do this? So there is one way to do, that is C minus 20 by 100 into C. I am taking the unknown quantity as C itself variable. So this will be like what, 20 1s are 25. So C minus C by 5, right? That's like this, right? C minus C by 5, that will be 4C by 5 is equals to 50. So that will be like C is equals to 250 by 4, right? 4 6 are 24, 62.5 will be the answer. Okay, that's what you can do. Sometimes what I generally do is, instead of doing this, okay, understand this, I'm just saying it, it helps you to do it faster. C is what? C is, I can write any number as 100% of the same number, right? 100% of C, because 100% of the same number is obviously the same, because 100% is 100 by 100, that's like 1 into something. So I can write 30 as 100% of 30, 20 as 100% of 20, right? So C can be written as 100% of C minus 20% of C. If you see of C is like into C, that's common. So I can technically do this 100% minus 20% of C, that is basically 80% of C. So I could have straight away written 80% of C as 80 by 100 into C, which would have given me 4C by 5. You know, this step could have arrived directly from here, right? If I understand C minus 20% of C should be 80% of C, then I do 80 by 100 into C will be 4C by 5 instead of doing the C minus. But then again, it's up to you, but that's what I do generally. So then this one is slightly tricky, but this actually is going to help you understand this concept very well. So try it. Hope you have tried it. Aman's salary is 20% more than that of Bhavik. So it says Aman's salary is 20% more than that of Bhavik, right? By what percent is Amit's salary less than that of, sorry, this should be less than that of, sorry, this is a mistake, right? This should have been by what percent is Bhavik's salary less than that of Aman, right? That's the question. That should have been the question actually. So Aman's salary is 20% more than that of Bhavik. By what percent is Bhavik's salary less than that of Aman, right? So this is what I can write from the first clue. Let's first solve this and then I'll come to the next part of it, right? Let's leave this for now. Let's only focus on this. So let's understand, or let's assume that B is 100. I'm just taking a number. I can take anything. I can take 100, I can take 10, I can take 1, I can take a variable X. Anything, the answers would be same. It's just about how calculations would turn out. So what is A? 100 plus 20% of 100. The reason why I take 100 is because of this. 20% of 100 will be simply 20. 100 plus 20 is 120. So now I know that if Aman's salary, sorry, if Bhavik's salary is 100, Aman's salary is 120, right? That's clear. Now what is the question asking? By what percent is Bhavik's salary less than that of Aman? See, whenever it's asking for percentage less, percentage more, this is similar to what we did earlier in percentage change, right? Final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. This is the formula that I need to apply to get this done. Now the question is, what should be my final and what should be my initial value here in the percentage less or more, right? See, the clue always lies in the way the wording is done. By what percentage is Bhavik's salary less than or more than whatever that be, that's okay, than something, right? So it says like by what percentage is A, whatever it is, less than, more than B, right? This A would always be final and this would always be my initial or base value, right? That's the basically the logic you need to apply. By what percentage is final value less than or more than initial value? That's how the statement should be read. So by what percentage is Bhavik's salary? So what is Bhavik's salary? B is final value less than that of Aman. So Aman's salary would be my initial value. So simply the percentage answer would be final is what? 100, Aman is 120. So 100 minus 120 by 120 into 100. Right, that will be like 20 minus 20 by 120. That's why it's less than, because I'm getting negative. If I get positive, that is more than. Right, so 21 there, 26 there, it will be minus 16.66%. Right, so let me say this again. Some of the students I see think that Aman's salary is 20% more than Bhavik. Automatically, by what percent is Bhavik's salary less than Aman? They think 20%. This is absolutely wrong. Why? See, Aman's salary is 20% more than that of Bhavik. Here the Bhavik is base, that is Bhavik is initial value. Right, if I see this 100 and 120, the percentage of 20 will come like this. As I said, Bhavik is initial and Aman is final in this case. So that will turn out to be final minus initial by initial into 100, right? That will be 20%. That is this case. Because you see this statement is written Aman's salary is 20% more than that of Bhavik. But what is the question here asking? By what percent is Bhavik's salary less than that of Aman? So the second statement makes Aman's value as initial value and Bhavik's value as final value. So that's why the denominator is not 100, it should be 120, that's Aman's salary. That will give me a different answer. Just understand that it can't be same. So how would I read it? First clue, use it to find out some values. So as I said, I can assume anything, right? If I would have taken 10 here, I would have gotten 12. So obviously this would have been like 10 and 12. I would have done 10 minus 12 by 10 into 100. Sorry, 10 minus 12 by 12 into 100. That will still give me same 16.66%. The answers won't change. But still, you can take 100. That makes it easy. Find out the values of people and then understand what should be final and what should be initial for the actually asked question. That's the only thing you need to understand. Sometimes I can ask a question like, by what percent is Bhavik's salary less than that of combined salary of Bhavik and Aman? Okay, let's say the question is saying by what percentage is Bhavik's salary less than that of combined salary of Bhavik and Aman? So that means Bhavik's salary will be final value. That's because that's how the statement is. By what percentage is final value, that's Bhavik's salary, less than that of combined salary of B and A is basically the initial value. So what is initial value? That is A plus B. Combined is adding, right? So A is getting 120 and B is getting 100, that is 220. So final value is 100 and initial value is combined salary of B and A, that is A plus B is 220. I am just saying another question if by chance you get it. So just be careful how you read it, is going to give you the answer very simple.